Cartagena, on Colombia's Caribbean coast, is known for its colorful architecture, affordable local food, and inviting beaches. Yet alongside its vibrant tourism scene, the city also supports adult-oriented work that far fewer visitors are aware of, attracting both locals and recent rules discouraging adult workers from. As daylight fades, the historic center gradually shifts into a different rhythm, revealing a nightlife driven by a very different set of interests. This is Cartagena's double life, Caribbean paradise by day and intimate activities by night. Cartagena stands out from many other tourist destinations because certain kinds of adult-oriented independent work are allowed in Colombia, even though some related practices are still limited and monitored by local authorities. Since this type of work can operate within a regulated setting, some people choose to take part in it in well-known tourist spots. Over the last 20 years, this has contributed to a noticeable flow of newcomers from different regions of Colombia and nearby countries. Even so, city leaders continue working to reduce public promotion of these activities and to protect the welcoming feel of the historic district. Many new arrivals, especially in neighborhoods like Getsemani and Boca Grande and at times other nearby regions, search for various informal or flexible jobs once they reach Cartagena. In the early evening near the Torre del Reloj, the streets grow active with residents, visitors, and people enjoying the night scene. Families, vendors, and tourists fill the area, creating a bright and energetic atmosphere. As in many major tourist cities, walking alone very late at night is not recommended. Earlier in the evening, the surroundings are considered reasonably safe, with a clear police presence and many people taking pictures and enjoying the area. After midnight, however, some nearby parts of the city may feel less comfortable. Adult-oriented tourism in Cartagena has become a growing yet mostly discreet aspect of the city's expanding visitor economy, surprising many travelers who only experience its historic beauty during the day. Investigative reports describe how, in certain areas, an alternative nightlife scene operates alongside regular evening entertainment, giving the city two very different atmospheres between daylight and after dark, especially in neighborhoods like Getsemani and Boca Grande. Economic hardship, social inequality, and the arrival of migrants have created conditions where inappropriate influences can take root, with some reports noting troubling situations in certain under-resourced communities. In response, the city and the Interior Ministry introduced the 2024 awareness campaign Ponte las gafas y pilas con la trata, and later suggested creating a regulated adult zone in 2025 to better manage the situation. Still, the impact of these measures has been uneven, and recent rules discouraging adult workers from operating in the historic center have pushed many into less secure areas. Analyses also point out that some international visitors come seeking adult-oriented experiences, and a mix of nightlife organizers, informal networks, and financial pressures has allowed a quiet parallel system to persist beneath Cartagena's picture-perfect daytime image. However, there is a clear contrast between day and night. Cartagena's daytime character is shaped by its bright scenery and strong sense of history, centered around its UNESCO World Heritage walled city, known for its old defenses, stone paths, and colorful balconies filled with flowers. Official tourism guides describe Cartagena as a city on the Caribbean coast where its beaches, warm water, and steady sea breeze create a calm tropical mood that is perfect for exploring during the day. The National Tourism Board points out the city's mix of history, culture, and modern life, highlighting not only its famous buildings, but also its strong tourism services, lively plazas, busy cafes, and diverse food options. Many visitors enjoy walking along the ancient walls, relaxing in green squares, trying fruit from local vendors, or spending time on the beaches of Boca Grande and the nearby shoreline. Cartagena's tourism groups also promote its easy-to-join tours, day excursions, and cultural activities, supporting its image as a friendly Caribbean destination, full of color, charm, and historical richness, an ideal picture-perfect city during daylight hours. Because of the city's popularity, many small vendors can be seen selling all kinds of items. Most of these sellers are men. Some shine shoes, others draw quick portraits, and some offer tours in old classic cars. Up to this point, everything looks normal. However, when watching the local women, it becomes clear that some of them work in different personal care or relaxation services. They greet tourists with warm smiles and invite them into their salons while wearing navy blue aprons. In a wellness and massage facility, the parlor was set up with many details focused on comfort. There was even a jacuzzi where clients could relax after their session. The staff described the services they offered and showed a price list in another room. A 1-hour private session could cost between $100 and $150. For those with a bigger budget, there were many upgraded options, and clients could choose the person who would provide the service. Everything was arranged to match the customer's preference and comfort. These wellness centers operate legally during the daytime. However, the larger nighttime tourism scene in Cartagena becomes easier to see after dark. Did you like this video? Don't just stop at the like button. Hit that hype when you watch on your phone too. It helps the channel out, and I'm excited to continue bringing you more awesome content. In this city, it often seems that travelers with higher budgets have access to a wide range of leisure experiences. Throughout Cartagena, it is also noticeable that some women in busy tourist areas participate in adult companionship activities. When a person is walking alone and dressed in a more attention-grabbing style, she may be involved in this kind of work. Visitors can usually approach them, start a friendly conversation, and discuss expectations in a relaxed and respectful way. Through this type of activity, many people contribute to the city's tourism sector and its wider economy. Wellness centers, hotels, guest houses, bars, nightclubs, and shops that offer clothing or beauty products often benefit from the increased business generated by this environment. In addition, many of the people working here come from other countries and can send part of their earnings back home, which helps support their families. Still, very few women enter this profession entirely by choice. Economic limitations are a common reason people around the world step into this kind of work. In Cartagena, many people participate due to a shortage of job opportunities, limited access to higher education, or fewer professional pathways. A significant share of this group includes single mothers, migrant women, and women of Afro-Caribbean heritage. Furthermore, adult-oriented tourism is shaped not only by those offering services, but also by the decisions of visitors. Some tourists, particularly from North America and Europe, use their higher incomes to seek personal companionship experiences, which invite conversations about balance, respect, and the social dynamics connected to these interactions. Reports and studies show that a portion of international visitors travel to Cartagena with the specific aim of seeking companionship activities. According to a 2025 analysis, this type of tourism refers to people visiting Cartagena mainly to pursue intimate companionship experiences, often involving situations where social or financial pressures may influence interactions. Local awareness campaigns launched in 2024 indicate that this trend is partly driven by affluent travelers looking for personal services at costs lower than those in their home countries. Investigative journalism, including reports focused on Cartagena, has shared accounts from individuals who note that some foreign visitors are not drawn solely by the beaches, but by opportunities for adult companionship, pointing to organized travel groups with these interests. Academic research also mentions that Cartagena hosts networks through which visiting men seek these experiences, sometimes involving individuals who face economic hardship, recent migration, or in the most concerning situations, those who should never be placed in such environments. Nevertheless, views on adult-oriented tourism vary widely among Cartagena's residents. Some people consider it an important source of income that supports many families and contributes to the city's growing visitor economy. Others, however, feel that it gradually changes elements of the city's long-held cultural traditions. In a community where Catholic values continue to guide everyday life, this type of activity can create a sense of social discomfort, especially among older generations who were raised with more conservative expectations. Younger residents, on the other hand, tend to approach the subject with a more flexible and open mindset. Many of them see it as simply another part of modern urban life, and are far less concerned about its presence in the city's social landscape. Even so, it's important to remember that Cartagena's nights aren't defined by a single narrative. There are positive elements as well. When evening arrives, the old town's stone walls and bright facades shift into a lively setting where stylish rooftop drinks and global club culture blend with local music and friendly street celebrations. For a city often seen as relaxed, the nightlife feels unexpectedly polished. Many places encourage neat clothing, and the cocktail spots feature modern interiors, wide views of the city, and creative drinks inspired by Colombian flavors. Visitors often notice that these venues mix sophistication with a warm and welcoming atmosphere. Even with these upscale touches, the core of the experience remains very local. The bohemian area of Getsemani bursts to life with murals, live performances, and open-air dancing, while the clubs move to salsa, champeta, and Afro-Caribbean sounds instead of only playing popular charts. Street food stalls, small cafes, and informal gatherings add their own charm, creating a nighttime environment that feels both energetic and approachable. For many tourists, the surprise comes from how naturally this mix fits together. The old buildings, the stylish lounges, the artistic street culture, and the international party mood all share the same compact space, making Cartagena's nightlife more varied, energetic, and memorable than most visitors expect. What stands out is the way the city blends its cultural roots with modern tastes, allowing travelers to move from historic plazas to rooftop views and lively dance floors within minutes. This combination gives Cartagena a unique character after dark, offering an experience that feels rich, diverse, and full of personality. And if the nightlife shows one side of Cartagena, daylight reveals something entirely different and often surprising. One of the first things many travelers do not expect is how deep Cartagena's history and architecture run, far beyond its famous colonial streets. For example, the old walled city, the Ciudad Amurallada, contains a maze of colorful buildings, coral stone defenses, and high lookout points, such as the Castillo de San Felipe de Barajas, the fortress built by the Spanish on San Lázaro Hill that was never defeated despite several attacks. What surprises visitors is not only its beauty, but also the impressive scale and strategic purpose behind its defensive design. It is more than a charming old town. It reflects the power and planning of the colonial era. Another unexpected part of Cartagena is how easily visitors can connect with authentic local life, not just the usual tourist sites. For instance, the Mercado de Basurto is often mentioned as a place where travelers can see real local trade, unique foods, and the kind of immersive environment many guides encourage for understanding daily life in a new country. In the same way, street art tours in the Getsemani neighborhood show a creative and lively side of Cartagena that surprises people who only expect neatly preserved colonial buildings. Then there is the nature and island escape side of Cartagena, which many people do not realize exists. While the city is often viewed as a standalone urban destination, it is also the starting point for beautiful Caribbean adventures. Day trips to the Islas del Rosario, or time spent on beaches with coral reefs and rich marine life are common recommendations. This mix of historic city experiences and coastal relaxation is frequently overlooked. And there is a subtle but memorable surprise. The city offers food and sensory experiences that go far beyond basic sightseeing. Walking tours that include local snacks, traditional sweets, tropical fruits, and visits to unusual viewpoints or green areas add extra layers to the journey. One article mentioned that a short walk near Plaza de los Coches led to an urban park full of wildlife, including monkeys and sloths, something most people would not expect to find in the center of a Caribbean city. Before you explore all these highlights, though, there are a few things every visitor should know. First, avoid throwing toilet paper into the toilet. You should place it in the small trash bin next to it. The plumbing system here works differently, so using the bin is the recommended approach. You will notice these small bins in almost every restroom. Now, another helpful tip for your time in Cartagena is that the tap water is safe to drink. You can use it for brushing your teeth or having a glass of water without concern. While the taste may not be the same as bottled water, it is still perfectly fine for everyday use. Another important point is related to currency. You will be using the Colombian peso, and you may meet people offering to exchange money for you. It is best to avoid street exchanges altogether. There are plenty of ATMs available, including at the airport when you arrive, which makes withdrawing cash simple and secure. So it is wiser to rely on ATMs rather than exchanging money on the street. Another thing to remember when walking around or asking for directions is that numbered addresses are not very helpful. Locals usually recognize places by street names instead. Look for the yellow signs that show the actual name of the street, because that is what people here use for navigation. When you explore the city's colonial buildings, keep this in mind. If you have sensitive ankles, bring an ankle brace or some support. Many streets have uneven cobblestones, and some of the historic entrances include tall or irregular steps. Being prepared will make walking much more comfortable. We even packed a pair, just in case. When in Cartagena, There is also a light-hearted local tradition involving a well-known sculpture by the artist Botero. According to the saying, touching certain parts of the statue determines when you might return to the city, while rubbing the belly is said to bring good luck. Many visitors join in on this playful custom, which has become part of the city's folklore and charm. Another thing you will notice in Cartagena is the performers who walk up and start rapping for visitors. They might greet you, ask where you are from, and then create a short freestyle right on the spot. It can be entertaining, and if you enjoy it, you can offer a small tip. If you prefer not to participate, a simple "no gracias" is enough, and they will move on. Many travelers find these moments amusing, and supporting the performers can brighten their day, since this is how they earn their income. As you explore the streets of Cartagena, remember to take a moment to notice the door knockers on the old buildings. Many of them have creative designs and represent a small part of the city's historical charm. You could easily spend time taking photos of all the unique ones you come across, and they add an extra layer of enjoyment to walking through the city. Another thing to keep in mind is that if you visit between October and December, you may experience occasional rain, and at times the streets can fill with water. It does not happen every day, but it is something travelers should be prepared for. The city is used to these seasonal conditions, so it is simply part of the experience during those months. Now for backpackers, it is helpful to know that the bus station is not located close to the main tourist areas. The airport, on the other hand, is only about 15 minutes from here, which is very convenient. When you arrive by plane, you are already near Getsemani, the old town, and the historic city walls. Even with traffic, the trip is quite short. The bus station, however, is around an hour away, so reaching it can take more time if you plan to travel by bus to other regions or for certain day trips. With this in mind, flying between major cities like Medellin or Bogotá can be a more comfortable choice, and since Avianca operates here, the process is usually straightforward. And here is something important when arriving at the airport. Instead of heading directly outside to look for a taxi, it is better to use the official taxi desk located near baggage claim. There, you will receive a ticket with a set fare, and then you can follow the signs to the official airport taxis. This system helps ensure a smooth ride into the city at a standard rate. When taking taxis around Cartagena in general, it is also a good idea to agree on the price before starting your trip. This keeps everything clear and makes the ride more relaxed for both you and the driver. If you head over to Boca Grande, it helps to know that the area actually includes 3 connected neighborhoods: Boca Grande, Castelo Grande, and Laguito. This part of the city has several beaches and is often compared to a smaller version of Miami. Once you see the tall modern buildings and the coastline lined with hotels and cafes, the comparison makes sense as the atmosphere feels bright, modern, and lively. There is often discussion about how safe Cartagena feels, and many visitors agree that the main tourist areas are comfortable to explore. The truth is that most travelers stay in well-known districts, and those places are designed with visitors in mind. Because of that, the best approach is to remain in the areas recommended by your hotel, local guides, or people you meet during your stay. They will easily point out which neighborhoods are ideal for sightseeing and which areas are better to avoid. As a visitor, you will spend most of your time in places like Getsemani, the historic center, or the beaches in Boca Grande and Castelo Grande. These are the spots where travelers usually stay, relax, and move around. While every city has places that are less suitable for tourism, you will not need to go near them, so it rarely becomes a concern. The key is simply to follow local advice and enjoy the parts of Cartagena that are meant for visitors. As we look back at Cartagena's neighborhoods, daily routines, and the way visitors move through the city, a clear pattern begins to appear. Cartagena is shaped by 2 parallel identities that operate side by side. One is the Caribbean destination most travelers recognize, filled with historic walls, beaches, local food, music, and warm public spaces. The other is a quieter economy that develops from long-term social conditions, migration, and the flow of tourism. What stands out most is how naturally Cartagena shifts between its daytime rhythm and its evening energy. The city's colonial streets, busy plazas, and coastal views remain central to its identity, while its nightlife adds another layer that reflects the diversity of people who live here and the many reasons travelers come. Understanding these contrasts helps us see Cartagena more completely. It is a city built on history, shaped by movement, and carried forward by the people who call it home. Whether exploring its forts, walking through Getsemani, or watching the streets fill after sunset, Each moment reveals another piece of a place that continues to evolve. Have you been here? Do you want to come and experience the parallel world of this city? Share your story in the comments section. Don't forget to ring the bell, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button if you haven't yet. And if you want to continue exploring the unknown aspects of the city or country in the world, watch my video about the untold things in Dubai, where the hidden things behind the glitzy exterior are revealed. Click on the card displayed on the screen now. Enjoy the video. Thanks for being with us. Leave a comment, like to show your support, and remember to hit that subscribe button for more exciting videos. See you next time.